Welcome, Trailblazer fans, inside the TV studio. I'm your host, Assistant Athletic Director Jeff Polari, here today with baseball head coach Mike Gladu on the eve of the 2018 Trailblazer baseball season. Coach, how are you today?
Excellent. Great day.
Really exciting time for MCLA. Baseball season starts in just 5 short days. Brief recap of last season. MCLA goes 12-18. More important than the overall wins and losses. First playoff appearance since 2009. Great step forward in your second year. Just talk a little bit about last year and how you're using that to motivate the student athletes heading into 2018.
Yeah, so certainly, I mean, what we ended up doing there at the tail end, it was great for the program. It was great for the players. I think that gives them some confidence into what we got going on this year, going into it. I think we ran out of a little juice there at the end, but certainly through our conditioning that we've really ramped up starting back at the end of January, I think we're going to make a better run at it and go a little bit deeper, go as deep as we can, and just do things, stay in competition and just do things the right way, work hard, sure.
Great. And as is always the case, you're about 5-6 weeks into your practice season, trying to prepare for what really is a long season. How have things been going to date from your vantage point?
Well, on the hardwood floor, everything can get a little old. We're excited. We were able to get out last week. We were able to get to Williams yesterday and get a little bit of different taste of what the game should be like. But we're ready to go. We're ready to get out of here. Looking forward to Thursday on this trip, and hopefully Mother Nature doesn't bite us one more time, and we're able to get to where we got to be and start competing on grass, which is really where the metal meets the meat, if you will.
Right, and it's always great to hear your vantage point. But we also caught up with MCLA senior captain Nick DeSanti out on the turf this week at practice, and we chatted with him a little bit just to see how things were going. Let's hear from Nick.
Things are going really well this season. We got a really early start. We're outside right now in February playing baseball, inter-squatting, something I've never done in my 4 years here. We're scrimmaging Saturday at RPI. We're also scrimmaging Williams Sunday. So we're definitely getting a head start a lot earlier than we did last year, and I think that'll help going forward.
And what do you expect to see this year in the season?
I think we're going to upset a lot of people. People picked us 7th to come in 7th in the MASCAC, and I think we're going to turn a lot of heads. I think that people don't realize how good we are this year.
Thank you, Nick, for that. And again, the team departs, Coach, Thursday morning for Florida, 9 games, Southern Swing. What are you looking to get out of the trip down in?
Yeah, so I think the first thing we got to do is get comfortable on the grass and get comfortable in the game itself, which is an imperfect game. When you play it on the hardwood floor, it's rather perfect. So I think the guys just have to get back into the swing of things of being able to compete in a situation that's baseball itself, and we haven't had that for a while. But that's what our #1 goal is, and then to get used to then coming back up north, being able to compete in the conference, which is a tough one for sure.
Yeah. And upon returning north, you'll face a couple of non-league opponents. You'll face RPI to open up kind of the northern slate, and then Springfield leading into the conference opener, which is right now scheduled for March 30th with Framingham. What are you hoping to improve upon between now and, let's say, the conference opener on the 30th?
Well, I think for us, one of our major goals that we're really concerned with this year is pitching to contact for our pitchers. Walks are defenseless, and I know that's a term that's used a lot, but it's so true. So for me, with Coach Andre, our first-year pitching coach, he's done a great job with guys with their mental approach and understanding pitching to contact is a huge part of the game at Division III level. And so we've done a great job. We've also done really well with quicker times to the plate. I know last year, we were a little defenseless there and throwing out runners. We struggled quite a bit, and at the end of the day, you can't blame the catchers. So our guys are quicker to the plate now and giving our catcher a chance to throw guys out, which is big.
And looking ahead to the MASCAC, not a whole lot of respect conference-wide. MCLA selected 7th in the preseason poll. Probably not a surprise with our last few years, but do you use that as motivation to the program? How do the student athletes react to that type of a ranking?
I think you have to. It's more important at the end of the day where we end up than it is before the day starts. But certainly that is a motivation tool. Last year we were picked 8th, and it's all about one pitch at a time, and you know, we got some talent, and guys, you know, I'm sure they'll turn some more heads this year like we did last year. So.
And let's talk about some of that talent that you have. Let's start with the pitching staff. Return a couple of starters that saw significant action last year. Liam Nolan, Brendan Kelly, just to name a few. Talk a little bit about what your expectations are out of some of those guys and the rest of the pitching staff in 2018.
Yeah, so Liam, you know, we're expecting some very solid things out of him. You know, he's a guy who pretty much has ice in his veins. Not very, you know, when it comes to pitching, he's motivated inside. So he should really do well for us this year. Brendan Kelly had an awesome fall for us. He's throwing well right now. You know, so for him, he looks to be a pretty good package for us. And then Bobby New, southpaw that we have, was effective last year. He's going to be thrown into that role as well of needing to be effective. And then we have some younger guys, Sean James, who last year didn't pitch for us as a freshman. You know, he's coming back and he looks dominating, to say the least. So, you know, those arms, and we have 15 arms. So for me, I talk to my guys about longevity. You know, they have to come in and be ready to produce, and if they're not, then we go to somebody else. We have that luxury with the arms that we have.
And it sounds like, you know, last year, again, one of the challenges, we had a high ERA last year. The same could be said when we flipped to the offensive side of the ball. We ended up hitting .259 last year. But let's talk about some of the returning offensive players. You return pretty good core of your lineup. Just to name a few, Brett Labonte, Bill Pulaski, Christian Syriac, who was an All-MASCAC second-teamer. What are some of the things you expect from those on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, so I think, you know, what they have, those three guys bring, you know, is not only like, you know, we talk about Labonte and Pulaski. I mean, those are a couple of old warriors, if you will, and, you know, those guys has been around for a while, and so the experience that they have is you know, very valuable. And along with Cyranak, who was a freshman, put into a role where he played a lot. So for him, you know, hitting from the left side, he's a crafty guy, and you know, he should do well again this year. Yeah. I believe so.
Who are some of the other trailblazers that we haven't mentioned yet that we can look for making an impact in 2018?
So for me, definitely kid out of East Haven, Connecticut, Jake Ferrara, plays third base for us. Truly one of those, you know, special guys who loves the game and plays really well. He's going to be put into a role right away. He's going to have to adapt to the college level. He's learning a little bit, but he's a guy that for me is a special one going down the line. We're happy to have him for sure.
And just one final thought, Coach. We talked about a lot of different things, but what is the one thing that MCLA needs to do to be successful in 2018?
Pay attention to detail. You know, I tell my guys, pay attention to detail, not only in baseball but in life. And you know, life's a roller coaster. But if you're prepared, paying attention to detail is a huge part of what makes somebody a good person, a good student athlete, and a good baseball player.
Nice. Well, Coach, listen, we wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of exciting things going on here in the MCLA baseball program. Season opener Saturday down in Auburndale, Florida against Anderson University. 9-game slate down there. The home opener scheduled for March 30th. Right now scheduled against Framingham State. We're really looking forward to some exciting times in the baseball program. Wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Attention Trailblazer fans, for everything MCLA athletics, please log on to our social media sites on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, or log on to athletics.mcla.edu. I'm your host, Jeff Polari. Thanks for joining us today.